how do you plan for financial independence? Let's talk step by step how we do it. All right, so is financial independence a goal of yours? Are you tired of being paycheck to paycheck? Are you thinking, is there a way out of this? And what's the path to take? Is it listen to my financial advisor, or is there a better way? And the answer is there's a better way, and I'm gonna break it down for you right now. Okay, so let's talk about step by step. Like, what does it take to become financially independent? How do you actually do it? Now, understand my story. If this is the first time you've been on our channel, if this is, hey, I hope you like and subscribe. But if you've been to our channel before or not, you probably know my story, that fact that I actually became financially independent twice by the time I was 39. Now, you might think, okay, I would love to be financially independent once by the time I'm 39. How did you do it twice? Easy, I screwed it up the first time, okay? I was able to get financially independent, and then all of a sudden I went to like upside down millionaire, was over $1 million in debt during the recession. Between business and real estate, everything was collapsing me all at once. And of course, I was able to dig out of that debt hole, not filing for bankruptcy, but was able to dig out of that hole and eventually build passive income to where I got over $10,000 a month passive income to retire by 2016 when I was 39 years old. And so I've had to do it twice, right? So I will tell you, I've tried different ways. I've tried to make it work, and it hasn't just worked for me, but it's worked for many of our clients as well who've done it better than I did. They did it once and stayed at once, and they did it sometimes within 5, 10 years, sometimes even less than that. Again, no guarantee for you, because I know everybody is in a different situation. I'm sure your situation could be different, but here are some basic rock solid strategies you can use right now. So number one is start tracking your expenses. Be a wise steward of your money. Unfortunately, most people just look at their bank balances and think that's enough, right? Okay, I've got money in the account, I can spend it. That's not how you should be playing life, right? That never works. You're just really guessing. It's like if you ever watched Robin Hood Men in Tights, that Mel Brooks film, and you have Blinken, the blind guy up on the watchtower saying, I'm guessing no one's coming. And then he falls off the watchtower because he's blind, right? No jab on blind people, obviously, but it was funny to see that happen because it was ridiculous. Why would you put a blind person on a watchtower? Well, when you don't track your money, you are that blind person on the watchtower. You are the one saying, I'm guessing I've got enough cash. Well, looks like there's money in my account, I'm good. And what happens is month after month, you get caught in a rat race, don't you? You're stuck. You're in this little hamster wheel where you feel like you can never get off. You have to keep working, you have to keep hustling, you have to keep making money. And if you stop for one little second, all of a sudden there's bills to pay, and that haunts you. And not to mention you've got inflation kicking your butt because that goes up faster than your wages go up anyways. And you got your family growing up and everything else, and it creates a lot of stress. And so you got to start tracking your money. I recommend using tools. There's easy tools like Rocket Money, there's Monarch you can use, things like that where you can, again, track your money. I recommend on a weekly basis so you know exactly what money's coming in, what's going out, and then you can adjust to find out which expenses are worth it, but which ones are not, right? This kind of goes along with my 3-step process that I also talk about, which is get lean, get liquid, get out. This would be get lean. Don't live on rice and beans, right? But be a wise steward of your money. Now, when we talk about getting liquid, what do we do with that cash? That extra cash coming in every month? Because ideally, income's here, expenses down here. That difference is cash flow, and that cash flow creates freedom. You take that cash, that goes and builds up in savings. Don't lock it away in 401ks. In fact, if you're locking money away in 401ks, you might want to stop it. Unless you're over the age of 60, there might be a cool strategy you can use too that we won't talk about in this video. But if you're younger especially, don't lock your money in prison for the next several decades that you can't get to it unless you get fired or get laid off, neither of which I recommend. So instead, get that money liquid. It could be as simple as a savings account. It doesn't have to be anything complex. Just lock it away. I don't care if you even do it on a monthly basis where you set that little automatic withdrawal from your checking to your savings. I don't care if it's $5, $20 a month. It doesn't matter. Set something. Start somewhere. Start it today. Ideally, you take the cash that you have extra that you've been using, use that to go into savings, and start building that up. Now, there is a great strategy you can use called infinite banking. We specifically talk about max ROI infinite banking, where you have this tax-free high yield savings account that's paying about 6% a year right now that you could be using in addition to your savings account. Me personally, I have a couple $100,000 or so that I have sitting in savings. And so I split it between most of it in that 6% tax-free life insurance, and then the rest goes in my local bank that I can pull out that day, maybe a high yield savings account that will take a couple days to transfer. I'll keep some money there to earn a little bit of extra interest, but I'd like to put most of my money in the infinite banking policy. So that's where I do it. So that's the next step you do is 1, track your money, free up the cash. 2, start packing away. Now you might say, okay, Chris, I've done those things. Now what? Well, now the next thing is we got to get that money out. Now here's the thing, is that many people think that investing is always equating to Wall Street. But did you know there's a whole other aspect of Main Street investing? Main Street, where you invest in businesses, real estate, things that we've invested in for thousands of years, literally. Where Wall Street's like a couple hundred years old, we've got stuff that we've been doing for thousands of years that people have been brainwashed by big financial companies like Goldman, I was going to say Goldman Lynch, Goldman Sachs, Merrill Lynch, maybe we should call that Merrill Sachs, Goldman Lynch, whatever you want to call them, right? But those kind of companies have been brainwashing you, telling you the only way to invest is through them, and it's got to go through their Fidelity 401ks and all that kind of stuff. You got to stuff the money away, lock it away, while they make money off of you, whether you make money or not. You're paying them. The financial advisors are just their little lackeys, right? I know, I was one of them, right? I'm just a pawn in their game where I was just making money off of the money you're making there, whether you made money or not. To me, that's borderline unethical that anybody should be making money when I'm not making money. But that's the thing, right? That's why that has not worked. But instead, if you get that money out and invest in things that generate passive income, now you get a different story. Now, instead of trying to tell your spouse, hey, I've been locking away in this 401k, but don't worry, in 40 years, you'll thank me. If she even wants to be married to you in 40 years, that is, because she's like, man, you cheap son of a gun, life with you sucks, It might be the case. Like, you're packing that money away that you may not even be alive to enjoy, nor will they. Plus, your kids grow up, they're already out, what was the enjoyment there? Well, what if you could instead lock that money in that prison, if you could take that money away, and instead get it liquid to then get it out to generate passive income now. Now money's coming into your family today. Notice everybody's always about future someday planning, planning for your future, plan for your retirement. What about now? Nobody ever talks about planning for now. That is what passive income does. That's where you can create income right now, today. Why is that so important? Well, I'll give you an example. I had a client who actually worked in Hollywood. If you know about Hollywood, well, besides the fact that there's a lot of craziness there, right? And that's why we don't even want to watch the Oscars anymore, because they get up on their little podiums. But on top of that, 2020, when we had all the shutdowns of the virus, of course, they were all in there saying, hey, we got to shut down. They shut down for over half the year. On top of that, 2023, there was a writer's strike, shut down for half the year. Well, my client worked for Hollywood, a very integral part of it. And so for him, the great thing was this, is that he hired us in 2019 to work with us one-on-one, kind of get this white glove, real one-on-one coaching, right? To be able to say, here, let's find these deals. And by the way, here's some actual people that have been paying well in real estate forever. We even helped them find turnkey properties where there's a property manager already in charge. He just had to buy the property. The property manager takes care of the property. He collects the mailbox money. And so as a result, when we started having shutdowns in 2020, he had over a couple thousand a month coming in from his rentals. That helped him stretch out his money. He didn't have to burn through all of his savings. He had savings because we made sure we had a good savings, which is why you need to be liquid, right? But he also had that income there coming in so that his savings wasn't dwindling as fast. By the time that Hollywood opened again, he was fine. He got back to investing again. He built his income up over $3,500 a month, and then bam, writer's strike. Good news was he had $3,500 a month coming in. He didn't need that much from his savings once more, and so he was able to weather that storm, come right back in, where other people, the other guys in Hollywood, were begging for jobs, begging for work. They would take the jobs that would treat them like crap. This guy though, my client, had a choice. He's like, you know what? I don't need to take those bad jobs. I'm not desperate because I've got passive income coming in right now to take care of me and my family. And so as a result, he's now at the point where he's just $1,000 away from being financially free. To be financially independent, doesn't have to work anymore. He now can work because he wants to, not because he has to. All right, so I'll throw an extra bonus for you too. One of the great things of when I do alternative investments, like when I invest in real estate, oil and gas, even different types of businesses and ventures and things that might be backed by real estate, the great news is I also get tax benefits. And that's one thing you want. Understand this, anybody who tells you put money in an IRA or 401k says you get tax benefits is a liar. They're lying to you because all you're doing is you're getting the tax deferral now to only be taxed in the future, right? It's really not even a tax deferral, it's an income deferral. They're just taking part of your income saying, oh, you didn't get it today, your family doesn't get any benefit from now, screw them, let's put it over here, and then maybe someday you'll actually enjoy it, as long as the market doesn't tank on you at the last minute like it did on my dad, right? Those kind of things. That's the lie that you get. There's no tax advantage being in anything with the stock market. Even as an active trader, when I traded stocks and options, your only hope was Roth IRA, whoop-de-freaking do. You can only stuff in so much in that, and they're trying to close the back door so you can't even do better things with it anyways. But I can do tax advantages. I can use my life insurance. That infinite banking, by the way, is tax-free, and I can access it before I'm 59.5. No penalties, no issues like that. Also, when I do things with real estate, even with oil and gas, things like that, I get little tax breaks on those things. Some of it, like even my rentals, I don't really pay any net taxes on those. That's all income coming in. So I get to keep more of my money. It's like one of our clients. He had $1 million. he was supposed to take it out and put it, from his 401k, put it into an IRA, and his financial advisor says, great, now you can live on that 3% rule, $30,000 a year on $1 million. He said, why do I want to live on $30,000 a year? I'm technically a millionaire. That makes me a broke millionaire. So when he found us, we got him in different deals and whatnot. So he's doing things with real estate investments. He had a few duplexes, he had some apartment buildings, he had some oil and gas, and the next thing you know, he's making over $100,000 a year and paying less in tax than he would have had he just been in the stock market. So remember, if you can lower your taxes too and keep more of your money, that just creates more freedom faster for you. Okay, if you want to figure out how do I become financially free, what passive income could I create in my situation, since no financial advisor will ever address that, the greatest thing you do is go to moneyripples.com. There's a passive income calculator. Fill it out, try it out, and see what your number is. If it's over $15,000, $20,000 a year, we need to be talking to see how you can actually make that a reality in your life today.